All men should watch this video. 10 boundaries men set that turn women on. 100% proven. Old Stoic Wisdom. Welcome to our channel. It's the Stoicism Win, where you find interesting and useful knowledge from the Stoic philosophers to lead a happy and good life. Here's a truth most men never fully realize. Boundaries don't turn women off, they actually turn them on. Not the desperate kind, not the manipulative ones, but real boundaries. Boundaries that stem from self-respect, a clear sense of purpose, and grounded masculinity. In this video, we're going to explore 6 specific boundaries that trigger attraction at a psychological level. These aren't power plays, they are clarity moves. When you embody them, the right kind of woman won't walk away. She'll be drawn closer. Stick around for boundary number 6. It doesn't just preserve your power, it reshapes the way she perceives you and the way she sees herself around you. Let's dive in. The greatest victory is the one you win over yourself. Stoic Wisdom. 1. The transparency test. Honesty is the ultimate boundary. If you want to build trust and deepen emotional connection, you must be transparent about your intentions and feelings. Don't hide your true desires or intentions behind false pretenses. Whether it's talking about the future of a relationship or sharing something vulnerable about yourself, being upfront is magnetic. This isn't just about telling the truth. It's about owning who you are, embracing your authenticity, and showing the world the strength of your character. When you are honest, it shows confidence, a quality that women find incredibly attractive. The clarity that comes with honesty eliminates any mystery around your true intentions and creates a safe space for openness and genuine connection. Remember, transparency isn't about being blunt or reckless with your words. It's about being tactful, mindful, and always grounded in integrity. As the great philosopher Epictetus, an old Stoic, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This aligns perfectly with the Stoic principles of maintaining an iron mind. Honesty forces you to confront your fears, insecurities, and flaws, but it also reveals your strength, resilience, and unwavering character. In a world where so many hide behind facades, the transparency test is a rare and powerful boundary that will set you apart. It is the foundation of true attraction, and without it, any connection will remain shallow and unsustainable. Women are drawn to men who are grounded in their identity, confident in their own skin, and capable of showing vulnerability without fear of judgment. This transparency fosters trust, which is absolutely crucial in creating a lasting bond. So don't hold back, be honest about what you want, what you feel, and who you truly are. By doing so, you'll form deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you. Don't let fear or uncertainty stop you from speaking your truth. When you embrace this principle, you'll not only see a transformation in your relationships, but also in yourself. Women respect men who have the courage to be transparent because it demonstrates the rare strength of someone who lives by their own code, someone who has mastered their own mind in a way that is both inspiring and magnetic. Remember, true strength comes not from hiding your weaknesses, but from acknowledging them and using that awareness to grow. So ask yourself, are you ready to face the transparency test? Are you ready to strip away the layers of fear and embrace the power of honesty? If you do, you will find that the attraction you've been searching for isn't just external. It's an attraction that resonates deep within the soul, one that builds and sustains lasting emotional connections. 2. The authority silenced. Don't explain, just decide. Let's circle back to number. A Stoic man doesn't seek permission or approval, he simply makes decisions. This is a powerful rule that commands respect and trust. When you explain too much, when you provide long-winded justifications, you're not clarifying anything. Instead, you're unconsciously asking for validation. Every word you add weakens your position, whether you're texting someone or having a conversation. So, stop explaining. Just decide. When you over-explain, you're diminishing your own authority, and inviting unnecessary negotiation. It's a subtle form of weakness, and it's an easy trap to fall into in today's world, where everyone feels pressured to be understood in every situation. But the reality is simple. The more you speak, the less your words matter. Take the example of a 5-paragraph apology text. What does it communicate? Weakness. It's an apology that tries to patch things up through excessive words, constantly begging for forgiveness. It lacks the strength of conviction. Compare that to a simple, clear line like, "I won't be able to make it, but let's catch up later." That sentence holds weight. It doesn't beg for understanding or permission, it simply states the truth, confidently and succinctly. The difference is immense. A man who practices practical stoicism understands this. The most powerful form of communication is brevity and clarity. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You simply need to state your boundaries and stick to them. Why does this approach work? Because real confidence doesn't require justification. It's not about forcing others to understand your decision. It's about asserting your choice with quiet certainty. When you act decisively, people respect your ability to lead your own life without hesitation. This kind of leadership isn't loud or confrontational, but silent and commanding. It's about cultivating an aura of strength that's never diminished by excessive words. The Stoic rule here is simple. Say less, mean more. Every time you choose not to explain yourself excessively, you reaffirm your place as a man who knows his own mind, who trusts his own judgment, and who doesn't need to seek validation from anyone. In modern life, this principle can be applied in countless ways. Whether in your personal life, at work, or in relationships, the more you focus on being clear and concise in your communication, the more your confidence will grow. In a world where over-explanation is the norm, practicing Stoic rules like these can set you apart from the crowd. It will make you stand out as a man who commands respect because he is clear about what he wants and is unapologetic about his decisions. When you stop apologizing for everything, when you stop seeking permission, you'll notice that the world begins to treat you differently. People will stop questioning your intentions because they'll see that you have none to explain. So don't over-explain. Don't apologize for being confident. Embrace the Stoic rules of decision-making and watch how your interactions transform. This is practical Stoicism in action. Strong, silent, and unwavering. It's a timeless principle that every man should embody if he wants to navigate modern life with power, grace, and the kind of authority that naturally turns heads and earns respect. 3. The unavailable advantage. The power of being unavailable is one of the most overlooked yet profoundly magnetic boundaries a man can set, and it holds a unique allure that many women find irresistibly attractive. When you consciously guard your time, choosing not to respond immediately to every text, not dropping everything the moment she calls, or rearranging your life at a moment's notice, it might initially feel like a dangerous game, as if you risk losing her interest. But the truth is quite the opposite. This deliberate unavailability signals that your time is valuable, that you are a man with purpose, direction, and priorities beyond simply catering to someone else's schedule. It tells her you have a life worth stepping into, a world rich with meaning and substance. The ancient Stoics understood this implicitly. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." And here, power over your own time is a statement of inner strength and self-respect. By not being constantly available, you create a subtle tension and mystery that is incredibly magnetic because constant availability often screams the opposite, that there is nothing else going on in your life. Scarcity creates value, and suddenly you become a rare commodity in a sea of endless availability. In practical, everyday life, this boundary translates into holding firm to your commitments, your work, your hobbies, and your personal growth without guilt or apology. It's about knowing your worth and not allowing your time to be devalued by being endlessly accessible. When a man understands this, he isn't playing mind games or acting indifferent out of manipulation. He is simply living authentically and inviting others to appreciate him for who he truly is, not just as an option at their disposal. This sets a tone of respect and admiration in the relationship because you show that your attention is earned, not given away carelessly. Marcus Aurelius, another great Stoic, advised, "Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears," which can be applied here as well. Reject the urge to be immediately available, and you will find that the relationship dynamic shifts to one of deeper respect and attraction. The emotional depth that arises from this boundary is profound. When you are unavailable, you create an emotional pull rooted in mystery and desire. She begins to wonder about your life beyond the screen, about your passions and pursuits that don't revolve solely around her. This curiosity fosters a stronger emotional connection, making interactions richer and more meaningful. In contrast, when a man is always at someone's beck and call, it often leads to complacency and a loss of intrigue. Real attraction thrives in the balance of presence and absence, availability and independence. This is not about playing hard to get, but about living your truth as a man who commands his time and energy. The old saying, "Absence makes the heart grow fonder," carries timeless wisdom here. Distance and unavailability create space for desire to grow rather than wither. Moreover, this boundary is a practical form of self-care and respect that benefits both men and the women they connect with. It ensures that you are not losing yourself in the pursuit of pleasing others, and that your identity remains intact and strong. This kind of strength is deeply attractive because it reflects maturity and emotional intelligence, qualities that foster healthy and lasting relationships. It also sets a precedent for mutual respect and boundaries that both partners can appreciate and thrive within. If you're constantly available, your partner may unconsciously devalue your presence because scarcity is a key component of appreciation. Incorporating this principle into your life can transform how you relate to women and yourself. By protecting your time, you create a life that is rich, purposeful, and magnetic. You send a clear message that you are a man of substance, one who values his time and energy, and invites others to value it as well. I invite you to reflect on your own experiences. How has setting boundaries around your time affected your relationships? Have you noticed a change in how others perceive and treat you when you are less immediately available? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights could inspire others to embrace the power of unavailability and elevate their own connections. Remember, as Ralph Waldo Emerson said, guard well your spare moments. They are like uncut diamonds. Your time is your most valuable asset. Own it, protect it, and watch how it transforms your relationships and your life. 4. The calm test. Lead instead of react. Men who cultivate the iron mind are often those who don't just react impulsively to the world around them, but lead from a place of deep composure and wisdom. This is the essence of the old Stoic principles, staying steady, grounded, and unshaken in the face of provocation. Here's where most men fail without even realizing it. A woman may throw a tease, a bit of sarcasm, or a mild jab to see how you respond. It's not about the words, but how you handle the energy behind them. Do you snap, react defensively, or retreat into silence? Or do you stand firm, unshaken, and respond with calmness, maybe even with a subtle smirk, showing that you're in control of your emotions and not easily ruffled? That's power, real power. As Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Emotional control doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent. It means you are centered. You know yourself so well and you trust yourself so deeply that nothing can move you off your path. When a woman sees that you are unflappable, that you won't buckle under pressure or be provoked by petty distractions, she will respect you. She will recognize that you are a man who can lead, not only in moments of calm, but also in the chaos. This is the power of emotional control and the strength of Stoic principles in action. The calm test is more than a test of patience. It is a test of leadership. By leading instead of reacting, you show her that you are a man who stands firm in his principles, someone who can be trusted to maintain stability even in turbulent moments. This will naturally spark her curiosity about what other areas of your life you have mastered. Will you let the little things control you, or will you choose to rise above? By taking the path of calmness, you not only build respect, but you also demonstrate the iron mind that Stoic wisdom emphasizes. So remember, don't react. Lead with your calm, and watch how it transforms your interactions with women and with life. This is a principle that resonates deeply with the Stoic mindset. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is your chance to break free from the average response and to embody the strength of true leadership. The next time she tests you, stand firm, lead, don't follow. Show that you are a man of substance, one who understands the old Stoic teachings and lives by them. And as always, share your thoughts in the comments. How do you keep your cool under pressure? And what other Stoic principles do you live by? 5. The personal space principle. Men, if you want to truly understand the desires of women, there's one principle you must master: respect for personal space. It's simple, yet incredibly powerful. A man who is constantly hovering over a woman, demanding her attention, or invading her personal space without regard to her needs, is not the type of man who will keep her desire alive. A woman values her independence and her space, just as you do. It's critical for her to have time to herself, to think, to reflect, and to simply be. Without that, she feels suffocated, and desire fades. The old Stoic principles teach us that true strength lies not in attachment, but in freedom and understanding. When you respect her space, you give her the room to miss you, to appreciate you, and to feel a sense of anticipation when you do come together. This principle isn't just about physical distance, it's about emotional space too. Don't be the man who clings or seeks constant validation. The Stoics knew this well. The iron mind does not rely on constant reassurance. It remains calm, composed, and at peace. Similarly, by respecting her space, you show maturity, confidence, and a deep understanding of the balance needed in any relationship. It's not about control or manipulation, but about giving each other room to grow, breathe, and exist as individuals. When you master this, you not only increase her respect for you, but you also ignite curiosity and desire. By embracing this boundary, you establish a relationship dynamic where both partners feel valued, not as an extension of each other, but as unique individuals with their own needs and aspirations. True love is not about being inseparable. It is about two individuals coming together and choosing to be with each other. Let that be a guide for you. Embrace this idea and watch how your relationship dynamics shift. By respecting her personal space, you not only allow her to stay grounded in who she is, but you also keep the flame of attraction burning bright. Be a man who values freedom for both yourself and her. One who understands that space isn't about distance, but about respect. It's a fine line, but when you walk it with the iron mind of a Stoic, you'll see the difference in how she looks at you, and how much more she will want to be with you. In real life, we can apply this principle by simply being aware of the time we spend together and apart. Don't overdo it with constant texts, calls, or trying to be involved in every aspect of her day. Have your own life, your own pursuits, your own interests. When you respect her time and space, she'll respect yours. And that's where the foundation for a healthy, passionate relationship is built. The balance of time spent together and apart is what creates longing, curiosity, and, ultimately, attraction. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I respect space and value freedom in my relationships. 6. The loyalty line. Loyalty is not merely about being faithful, it goes deeper, reflecting your commitment to your values, your beliefs, and the people you care about. It is the bedrock upon which trust is built, and it radiates a magnetic aura that is impossible to ignore. When you stand firm in your convictions, when you honor your word and your principles, you create a sense of stability and security that draws people to you. This is the essence of what makes loyalty so powerful, particularly for women. They are attracted to men who demonstrate unwavering loyalty, not just in relationships, but to their family, friends, and the causes they stand for. In a world full of uncertainty and shifting allegiances, A man who can be counted on, who stands his ground with integrity, becomes a rare gem. This quality is far more than a simple moral trait. It's a living, breathing testament to your character. The strength of your loyalty signals to the world, and especially to women, that you are a man who will stand by them come what may. What many fail to recognize is that loyalty is intricately linked to the concept of Stoicism. The Stoic rules emphasize the importance of maintaining your values, especially in the face of adversity. Practical Stoicism teaches that we should not allow external events or people to dictate our actions or beliefs. Instead, we must be steadfast in our loyalty to our own principles. This isn't about blind devotion or stubbornness. It's about exercising discipline and remaining true to what you believe is right, regardless of the circumstances. Women can sense this kind of strength. They don't just see loyalty as a promise. They see it as a reflection of a man's inner fortitude. It's not about saying the right words. It's about embodying those words, day in and day out. When you practice Stoicism and live by these rules, you become a man who is not easily swayed by the chaos of life. In relationships, this consistency is invaluable. It's what makes you not just a good partner, but a reliable one. Women are drawn to men who are solid, who don't flinch when the winds of change blow. They appreciate men who act with intention, who prioritize their integrity above fleeting pleasures. And loyalty is a clear signal of this. It shows that you are someone who values depth and authenticity, and you are not afraid to fight for what matters to you. Moreover, loyalty is deeply connected to a sense of self-respect and discipline. When you are loyal to your own values, you are telling the world that you are a man who knows who he is. You don't need external validation to define your worth. This sense of self-assurance is incredibly attractive. It's not about being perfect, but about owning your decisions and being responsible for them. Women find strength in a man who is unapologetically himself, who doesn't waver under pressure or sacrifice his principles for convenience. This is where Stoic wisdom shines through. By focusing on what is within your control and maintaining your personal integrity, you become a source of strength and stability for those around you. But let's be clear, loyalty doesn't mean sacrificing your own needs or identity for the sake of others. It doesn't mean being a doormat, nor does it mean blindly following others. It's about balance, knowing when to put your foot down and when to show compassion. You have to protect your values while also understanding the needs of those you care about. This is where practical Stoicism becomes a guiding principle. Stoicism isn't about ignoring emotions or relationships. It's about embracing the power of choice and focusing on what is truly important. It's about being able to distinguish between what you can control and what you can't, and showing loyalty to what you can. In modern life, we are constantly bombarded with distractions and shifting trends. It's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: our integrity, our values, and our commitments. But when you remain loyal to what you believe in, you stand out in a world that often feels chaotic and unreliable. Women find this kind of consistency irresistible. They appreciate a man who stays grounded in his values, who doesn't jump on every bandwagon or chase after every fleeting desire. Loyalty, in this sense, is about more than just your relationship with others. It's about your relationship with yourself. So, if you want to be a man who attracts the right kind of attention, you must cultivate the loyalty that resonates through every aspect of your life. Start by committing to your values, by being a man of integrity. Don't just speak the words, live them. Show the world that you stand by your principles, no matter the challenges you face. Practice Stoicism by focusing on what you can control, by keeping your promises, and by remaining unwavering in your beliefs. When you do this, you'll not only become a man of integrity, but you'll also become a man who others, especially women, can trust, respect, and desire. The strength of your loyalty will become your greatest asset, turning you into a beacon of stability in a world full of uncertainty. And remember, loyalty isn't just about others. It's about loyalty to yourself, your journey, and your commitment to personal growth. Embrace these Stoic rules, live by them, and watch how they transform your life and relationships. 7. The no apology rule. The no apology rule is among the most powerful boundaries a man can establish, yet its psychological depth often goes unrecognized. This principle goes far beyond simply refusing a request. It's about the way that refusal is communicated. The true impact doesn't come from how often you say yes or no, but from the unwavering confidence, tone, and body language you bring to your no. When a man says no politely but firmly, without drowning his refusal in over-explanations or unnecessarily softening it with apologies, he sends an unmistakable and magnetic message. I trust myself and my decisions. In today's world, where many feel the relentless pressure to please others at every turn, often sacrificing their own needs and boundaries, this kind of self-assurance stands out as rare and precious. Stoic wisdom reminds us that rarity is power, and the scarcity of genuine self-trust combined with unshakable boundaries makes a man irresistibly attractive and respected. Picture a man who calmly states, "No, I won't be able to make it," with quiet conviction, without fidgeting, without softening his stance, and without seeking approval. In doing so, he signals clearly that his time, energy, and priorities are valuable and deliberately protected. This approach is not about coldness or dismissiveness. Rather, it's a clear statement of self-worth communicated without hesitation or guilt. Conversely, a man who constantly says yes, trying to be liked and accepted by everyone, often comes across as needy or insecure because he's not honoring his own limits or living authentically. The urgency to master this art of saying no confidently grows even more critical in our fast-paced, distraction-filled modern life, where boundaries are easily blurred and personal energy is quickly drained. Saying no without apology empowers you to carve out space for your true priorities, preserve your mental and emotional well-being, and foster respect that is both genuine and lasting in your relationships. When you stop apologizing for your boundaries, you embody a rare form of strength that resonates deeply on a subconscious level. Just as the Stoics taught, standing firm with grace and without needless justification elevates your presence and influence. The next time you feel tempted to soften a refusal with an apology, remember that the power lies in delivering your no with calm, steady assurance. This subtle but profound shift not only protects your time and values, but also quietly commands respect and attraction, allowing you to stand out effortlessly amid a sea of people desperate to please. Reflect on how many opportunities or relationships might improve simply by mastering this boundary. What would happen if you embraced this no apology rule and made it a daily habit? Share your experiences or challenges with saying no in the comments below. And let's build a conversation about how this simple yet powerful boundary can transform your life and relationships for the better. 8. The unapologetic ambition. Be unapologetically driven. It is an inherent characteristic that draws admiration, respect, and even desire. Ambition isn't just about striving for career success or material wealth. It's about living with purpose, passion, and relentless drive. The Stoic rules of self-discipline and focus guide this ambition, urging a man to pursue his goals without hesitation, guilt, or fear of failure. When a man has clear goals and works tirelessly toward them, he becomes magnetic. Women are instinctively attracted to men who don't just float through life, but instead are anchored by a purpose that gives their existence meaning. It is not the fleeting moments of pleasure or momentary distractions that guide them, but their vision for the future. This is where the power of ambition lies. It's the foundation of who you are. A man who is unapologetically ambitious is undeniably attractive, not just because of what he achieves, but because of the strength of character it takes to remain focused and driven. The essence of this ambition is rooted in self-respect and a desire to contribute to something greater than oneself. The Stoic teachings emphasize the importance of discipline, endurance, and a refusal to be swayed by external pressures. A man who adheres to practical Stoicism is one who knows that life is not about immediate gratification, but about delayed rewards. He understands that real success comes from building something meaningful over time, not from seeking shortcuts. This kind of ambition is enduring. It's not just about what's happening now, but about what will happen in the future. A man who sets his eyes on the long-term goal and stays true to his path is admirable. He is not distracted by the superficial noise around him, but remains firmly planted in his purpose. This kind of ambition speaks volumes. It is a form of strength that only grows with time, reflecting a man's commitment to bettering himself, regardless of the obstacles he may face. Such ambition does more than fuel personal success. It signals leadership. Women are drawn to men who are focused, driven, and have a clear sense of where they are headed. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out, but about showing up every day with a clear vision of the future. When a man is unapologetically ambitious, he radiates confidence, not just in himself, but in his ability to build a life that others want to be part of. This is where the concept of leadership shines. A man who leads his own life with discipline and purpose is a man who can lead others. Women are not attracted to men who waver or hesitate, but to those who are resolute in their decisions and unwavering in their commitment. This form of leadership isn't about dominance, but about the ability to show direction, to be dependable, and to protect what is important. A man with ambition doesn't just make plans for himself, but also for the future he wants to build with a partner. In relationships, this ambition is not just about achieving goals or milestones. It's about demonstrating the strength and stability that women find so attractive. A man with ambition shows that he has his own sense of purpose, his own life, and his own mission. Women respect this because it shows that he doesn't need to rely on anyone else for validation. His ambition is grounded in self-respect, and it's this strength of character that makes him a man worthy of respect and admiration. Women do not want a man who is lost or aimless. They want someone who knows where he is going, even if the road ahead isn't always clear. Ambition, when rooted in the Stoic principles of self-control, is what gives a man that clarity. It's what makes him steadfast in the face of adversity. It's what allows him to take calculated risks and make decisions that are in line with his values and vision for the future. In the modern world, it can sometimes feel like there's pressure to tone down ambition, to not appear too driven, or to settle for mediocrity. But let me be clear. Don't apologize for your ambition. Embrace it. Women are drawn to men who are unapologetically ambitious because they can sense that this drive comes from a deeper place, a place of self-mastery and personal growth. When you are committed to your purpose and focus on building something of lasting value, you become an inspiration. Your ambition becomes a testament to your character and resilience. You prove through action that you are the type of man who doesn't just talk about dreams, but takes consistent steps toward achieving them. The lessons from practical Stoicism are clear here. Never be swayed by the opinions of others. Stay true to your purpose. This is what attracts women, the kind of ambition that is unshakable and unrelenting. It's the kind of ambition that drives you to be better, not just for yourself, but for those you care about. A man with ambition is a man who can lead, protect, and build something lasting. Don't shy away from your ambition. The world needs men who are unapologetically driven, who know exactly what they want, and who aren't afraid to go after it. Women are drawn to that confidence and clarity of purpose. They want to be with a man who is focused and knows where he is going. A man who is unapologetically ambitious is not just pursuing his own dreams. He is creating a future that others want to be part of. So stay true to your path. Don't let distractions derail you. Continue to develop your ambition, hone your focus, and live your life in accordance with the Stoic rules of self-control. With every step you take towards your goals, you become more magnetic, more powerful, and more capable of leading not only yourself, but someone else through life's journey. Your ambition, driven by purpose and fueled by self-discipline, is the very thing that will attract the partner you desire and create the future you've always dreamed of. If you found this valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Comment to remember. Unapologetic ambition is the foundation of attraction. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you found these insights valuable and can start applying them to set stronger boundaries in your life. Remember, every boundary you set is a message. It says, I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to lose what doesn't respect that. That kind of masculine energy isn't just attractive, it's unforgettable. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these boundaries hit hardest for you? Drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more straight-up dating psychology. Until next time, set the standard, protect your frame, and own the moment. Take care. How to make a woman worry about you. Jessica Parr, motivational speech. Old Stoic Wisdom. When was the last time she looked at you like you mattered? Ask yourself this honestly. When was the last time she looked at you with that same fire in her eyes, the way she used to? That undeniable spark, the urgency in her touch, the quiet confidence that made it clear you were the only man in the room. If that moment feels distant, it's time to listen closely, because what I'm about to share goes beyond typical relationship advice. It's the unvarnished truth about why women pull away, and how you can shift her perception so profoundly she'll worry she's losing you forever. Most men make the same mistake. When she starts to drift, they beg. They shower her with attention, hoping kindness alone can revive what's slipping away. But that desperation, it pushes her even farther. There is a different path. No games, no manipulation, just a fundamental transformation in how you present yourself. A shift so authentic and powerful that she won't just return. She'll fear losing you completely. This isn't about tricks or empty lines. It's about awakening a primal attraction rooted in your presence, your confidence, and the quiet strength of not needing her validation. If you're done being the man she settles for, and ready to become the man she can't stop thinking about, stay with me. What follows will change everything. Let's delve into a timeless truth often overlooked by many men when it comes to women, relationships, and even how they value themselves. If you want a woman to truly worry about you, to feel your absence keenly and cherish your presence, you must first grasp the profound psychology of absence. The hard, unvarnished truth is that familiarity breeds indifference. Think about the last time you genuinely missed something or someone. It's never the constant, everyday elements of your life, like the air you breathe or the shoes you wear. You take those for granted. What stirs longing is the temporary absence of something precious, like a friend who moved away, a beloved restaurant that shut its doors, or the freedom you enjoyed before life's responsibilities took hold. Absence creates desire, a craving that makes presence feel invaluable. When you're always available, constantly responding immediately, orbiting her world without pause, you become nothing more than background noise, predictable and forgettable. This isn't about manipulative games. It's about understanding a fundamental aspect of human nature. People, women included, are irresistibly drawn to what is scarce, what demands effort, and what isn't handed to them on a silver platter. If she knows you'll drop everything for her, she has no reason to pursue you. If she can count on your instant replies, she'll never wonder about your life or your value. Without that spark of curiosity, that hint of uncertainty, she won't invest emotionally, and the relationship stagnates. As the philosopher Seneca said, if a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favourable. In real life, this translates to being a man who values himself enough to set boundaries, to create space that invites longing rather than complacency. Practice patience and self-restraint. Let your absence be a silent message that your time and attention are precious. By doing so, you naturally elevate your worth in her eyes and deepen her emotional investment. This isn't about cold distance, but about cultivating respect and desire through thoughtful restraint. To truly make a woman worry about you, the solution isn't in tricks or games, but in becoming a man who lives a life so full and purposeful that he naturally commands attention without seeking it. This means dedicating yourself to something greater than her, a mission, a career, personal growth, or physical fitness, not as a tactic to gain her favor, but as a genuine way of being. When a man is fully occupied with building something meaningful, he becomes magnetic simply by the force of his own focus and ambition. He doesn't need to chase attention because his presence already commands it. Paradoxically, it's when you are less available, not more, that she starts to notice and value you more deeply. This isn't about manipulation, but about self-respect and maintaining your own priorities. Consider this. If you constantly cancel plans with your friends just because she's free, what message does that send? It suggests your life revolves around her schedule, which diminishes your value in her eyes. Similarly, if you are always the one initiating conversations and trying to keep her interest alive, you've already ceded power in the relationship. Desire isn't sustained through convenience or constant availability. It thrives on value, and value is often perceived through scarcity. Here's a question worth reflecting on. If you disappeared for a week, would she even notice? If the answer is no, it means you've made yourself too available, and she likely takes your presence for granted. But if the answer is yes, and she starts reaching out, wondering where you are, then you've positioned yourself correctly, not as a man desperate for validation, but as one disciplined enough to live by his own rules. This distinction is critical because women don't worry about men who are desperate. They worry about men who are disciplined, who have clear boundaries and don't rearrange their lives for fleeting attention. These are the men who hold true power because their willingness to walk away injects uncertainty into the dynamic, and that uncertainty keeps her engaged and intrigued. The key lies in filling your life with enough purpose and meaning so that your absence is not just noticed, but felt. Otherwise, you risk becoming just another option on her phone, always there, always waiting, and always predictable, which breeds indifference rather than desire. In modern life, this lesson rings truer than ever, especially in an age of constant connectivity and endless distractions. It's easy to fall into the trap of being overly accessible, responding instantly, and making yourself a default presence. Yet, by doing so, you inadvertently teach others how to treat you, often with less respect than you deserve. To change this dynamic, you must cultivate a life of significance that demands your attention and presence. Whether that's through your career, fitness, hobbies, or personal goals, make your time valuable. When you do, you not only increase your own self-worth, but also become someone who naturally commands respect and intrigue from women. This doesn't mean playing games or withholding yourself. It means living authentically and with discipline, setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. The more you embody this, the more she will value your presence and, yes, worry about losing it. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Will you remain just another constant option, or will you rise to become a man whose absence is deeply felt and whose presence is truly valued? Remember, you teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. So start tolerating less availability, start filling your life with purpose, and watch how quickly she begins to appreciate the man you've become. Now go do something that matters, because nothing is more magnetic than a man who knows his worth and lives with unwavering purpose. Let me speak clearly. The deepest fear men harbour is not failure, not rejection, not even loneliness. It is the fear of walking away. Understand this truth, the most avoid. The foundation of all dissatisfaction in relationships, and the root of unreciprocated effort. You get exactly what you tolerate. This is no petty game of ultimatums or dominance. It is the immutable law of human psychology. People only value what they risk losing. When was the last time you truly valued something guaranteed to never disappear? Your health, your time? No, appreciation only dawns when those are threatened. This paradox of value is undeniable and timeless, echoed by the Stoics. The things you own end up owning you, said Tyler Durden in Fight Club, and Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true power lies in control of self, not others. Now, apply this principle to your relationship. If she senses that you will remain, no matter how she treats you, she concludes you carry no price, no consequence. When a man offers his presence for free, It becomes a gift taken for granted, nothing more than background noise. But the moment you claim your worth, establish your standards, and most importantly, make it known you will walk away rather than endure disrespect or indifference, everything shifts. Your attention is no longer a given. Your loyalty is no longer guaranteed. That edge of uncertainty, that razor-sharp tension, that is the birthplace of respect. This is not manipulation. Manipulation is bluffing when you know you won't follow through. This is the power of authentic resolve, the willingness to lose her rather than lose yourself. Because a man who endures disrespect, who remains passive in the face of indifference, is not noble or kind. He is weak, and weakness breeds pity, not desire. This is a truth modern men must reclaim in a world drowning in entitlement and complacency. You must own your boundaries, demand your value, and radiate the unshakable confidence that you will walk away at the first sign of erosion. This is your power, your strength, your dominion. The old Stoics knew this. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, Marcus Aurelius commanded. Act on it. Don't wait for her to see your worth. Show her through your actions, your silence, your absence. When a man values himself above all, the woman who recognizes this will either rise to meet his standard or fall away. Let that knowledge burn inside you. Own it. Make your presence a treasure, your absence a loss. Men, if you agree, comment, I own my worth. Subscribe for more truths that empower and share this message, because too many suffer in silence when they hold the key to respect right in their hands. Be the man who doesn't settle. Be the man who commands respect. Be the man who walks away and makes her worry you might never come back. Let's delve deeper into why the power to walk away holds such an undeniable force in relationships, especially from the perspective of timeless wisdom revered by Stoic thinkers and life's seasoned observers. This ability is not just a simple act of leaving, it is a profound statement that reveals two fundamental, non-negotiable truths about you as a man. First, that you possess options, not only with other women, but fundamentally with your own life. And second, that your sense of self-worth is not shackled to anyone's approval, including hers. When you establish and enforce boundaries firmly and clearly, you're signaling that you will never settle for less than mutual respect and reciprocity. You are not someone who begs or clings desperately for the bare minimum. This subtle yet powerful stance is what distinguishes the confident man from the man who struggles in love. As the philosopher Epictetus famously said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens, reminding us that control over ourselves and our choices is the ultimate source of strength. Men who cling hard in relationships broadcast an unspoken message of desperation. I need you more than you need me. And that imbalance kills attraction quicker than anything else. On the other hand, a man who walks with quiet confidence, knowing his value isn't dictated by her moods or approval, doesn't need to issue threats or ultimatums. The mere fact that he could walk away shifts the entire dynamic. It creates space where mutual respect can grow because his dignity remains intact and his peace is non-negotiable. This isn't about indifference or coldness. It's about deep self-respect, a cornerstone of emotional maturity. As the great Theodore Roosevelt once said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care, which captures the balance between caring deeply and maintaining the boundaries that protect your own emotional well-being. You can love someone without losing yourself, and in fact, true love requires that balance. It's the ability to give without surrendering your core, the courage to hold on and let go as necessary. In real life, this means practicing self-awareness and recognizing when your peace is being compromised. If your relationship feels like a constant battle to prove your worth, ask yourself whether you are honoring your own dignity or merely clinging out of fear of loss. When you embrace the Stoic mindset of walking away as an option, not a threat, you reclaim your power and shift the relationship to a place of authentic connection rather than dependency. I encourage you to reflect on this and share your thoughts below. Have you experienced the transformation that comes from knowing you can walk away? How has it changed your relationships? Your insights could help others see the profound strength in this simple yet powerful truth. To master the mindset that makes a woman worry about losing you, you must first face a brutal truth. If you believe you'll stay forever without question, you've already handed over your power. True power lies in knowing your worth so deeply that your presence becomes a privilege, not an expectation. Ask yourself, how long will I stay if nothing changes? If the answer isn't until my standards are no longer met, you've surrendered your highest currency, self-respect. This is no empty statement. It's the cornerstone of Stoic wisdom and the foundation of all real influence. As Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Your bravery is shown in the ability to walk away from what no longer serves you, and mean it. That ability is the ultimate negotiating weapon, the unshakable proof that you value yourself above all else. So, what truths are you pretending not to see about your own value? Stop lying to yourself and start commanding the respect you deserve. Emotional discipline is the invisible armor that separates men who command respect from those who grovel for scraps. This isn't about suppressing your feelings or becoming cold. It's about controlling your reactions so that no desperate text, no anxious outburst, no moment of rattled insecurity chips away at your power. Society has tricked men into believing vulnerability means losing control, that emotional instability is some kind of badge of honor. But here's the unvarnished truth. Women don't fall for chaos. They fall for the man who can stay steady in the storm. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Your strength lies in emotional mastery, in being the calm in the chaos." Understand this biological reality. For millions of years, a woman's survival depended on choosing a man who kept his head when everything around him was crumbling. This primal wiring remains intact, though its tests have evolved. When she goes silent, flirts with others in your presence, or pushes your buttons, it's not childish games. It's a primal litmus test. She's asking, will this man collapse when life gets hard? Your daily emotional responses answer that question loud and clear. If you crumble, if you panic, if you chase after her validation, you lose the very thing she's wired to seek. Control your reactions. Own your worth. Be the man who makes her worry because she knows you can walk away and thrive without her. This mindset is your ultimate edge in modern life. It cuts through the noise of endless digital distractions and superficial connections. It demands that you set standards so high that settling becomes unthinkable. It forces you to reject dependency and embody independence. When you live by this truth, you don't beg for attention, you command it. You don't chase, you attract. You don't fear loss, you welcome it as a test of your strength. Like a lion that walks into the room, your presence says, "I am a prize, not a charity case." This is the old Stoic wisdom brought into the modern battlefield of relationships. Own it, live it, prove it. If this message hits you, if you feel that fire igniting within, don't just scroll past, act. Like, comment, and subscribe now. And tell me, I am the man who commands respect. Repeat it until you believe it, because the world will only treat you as you treat yourself. Become the man who holds his ground. Become the man who makes her worry, not because you beg for her attention, but because you are the prize she risks losing. Take this power. Own your life. Master yourself. The rest will follow. Let me speak clearly. The deepest fear men harbour is not failure, not rejection, not even loneliness. It is the fear of walking away. Understand this truth that most avoid, the foundation of all dissatisfaction in relationships and the root of unreciprocated effort. You get exactly what you tolerate. This is no petty game of ultimatums or dominance. It is the immutable law of human psychology. People only value what they risk losing. When was the last time you truly valued something guaranteed to never disappear? Your health? Your time? No, appreciation only dawns when those are threatened. This paradox of value is undeniable and timeless, echoed by the Stoics. "The things you own end up owning you," said Tyler Durden in Fight Club. And Marcus Aurelius reminds us that true power lies in control of self, not others. Now, Apply this principle to your relationship. If she senses that you will remain, no matter how she treats you, she concludes you carry no price, no consequence. When a man offers his presence for free, it becomes a gift taken for granted, nothing more than background noise. But the moment you claim your worth, establish your standards, and most importantly, make it known you will walk away rather than endure disrespect or indifference, everything shifts. Your attention is no longer a given. Your loyalty is no longer guaranteed. That edge of uncertainty, that razor-sharp tension, that is the birthplace of respect. This is not manipulation. Manipulation is bluffing when you know you won't follow through. This is the power of authentic resolve, the willingness to lose her rather than lose yourself. Because a man who endures disrespect, who remains passive in the face of indifference, is not noble or kind. He is weak, and weakness breeds pity, not desire. This is a truth modern men must reclaim in a world drowning in entitlement and complacency. You must own your boundaries, demand your value, and radiate the unshakable confidence that you will walk away at the first sign of erosion. This is your power, your strength, your dominion. The old Stoics knew this. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one, Marcus Aurelius commanded. Act on it. Don't wait for her to see your worth. Show her through your actions, your silence, your absence. When a man values himself above all, the woman who recognizes this will either rise to meet his standard or fall away. Let that knowledge burn inside you. Own it. Make your presence a treasure, your absence a loss. Men, if you agree, comment, "I own my worth." Subscribe for more truths that empower, and share this message, because too many suffer in silence when they hold the key to respect right in their hands. Be the man who doesn't settle. Be the man who commands respect. Be the man who walks away and makes her worry you might never come back. Now let's dissect the anatomy of control. There are 3 tiers to this mastery. First, the ability to delay reaction. When she says something provocative, when she ignores you, when she tries to get under your skin, the man who snaps immediately has already lost. But the man who pauses, who lets the silence stretch just a beat too long, that's the man who demonstrates something far more compelling than anger. He demonstrates choice. He shows that his behavior isn't dictated by her whims. That's power. Second, the refusal to seek validation through conflict. Most men can't resist the bait. She says something dismissive, they argue. She withholds affection, they plead. This is the equivalent of emotional panhandling, begging for scraps of attention through drama. The disciplined man does something far more unnerving. He walks away from the table entirely, not in a huff, not as punishment, but because he recognizes that true validation comes from within, not from winning petty battles. Third, the capacity to transmute emotion into action. The average man feels slighted and sends a paragraph of emotional text. The exceptional man feels that same sting, then channels it into his work, his fitness, his purpose. One becomes weaker through expression, the other becomes stronger through sublimation. Guess which one she respects. This isn't about becoming stoic to the point of inhumanity. It's about recognizing that every emotional reaction you have is either building your value or eroding it. When she sees you unshaken by her tests, unmoved by attempts to provoke you, consistently anchored in your own purpose, that's when something dangerous happens. That's when she starts wondering if she's the one who might lose you. The irony is thick enough to choke on. The men who most desperately seek reassurance are the ones who never receive it, while the men who seem indifferent to reassurance are the ones drowning in it. This isn't coincidence, it's human nature. So, here's your litmus test. Next time she pushes, next time she's distant, next time your instincts scream to react, ask yourself one question. Is what I'm about to do going to make her respect me more or less? That single moment of pause will do more for your relationships than a lifetime of relationship advice. Final thought, emotional control isn't about hiding your feelings, it's about proving they don't control you. And that proof, that's the most attractive quality a man can ever demonstrate. Now tell me, what reaction have you been having that's been costing you respect this whole time? Additional closing thoughts. To truly make a woman worry about losing you requires far more than superficial tricks or emotional manipulation. It calls for a deep transformation that stems from embodying the principles of old Stoic wisdom, principles that emphasize unwavering confidence, purposeful living, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. This isn't about creating drama or playing games to stir up anxiety. It's about becoming the kind of man whose very presence commands respect and whose absence is profoundly felt. When you live with clearly defined boundaries and emotional discipline, your value becomes unmistakable and magnetic, igniting a genuine desire and concern in the heart of the woman who shares your life. Think of this like the timeless advice from Epictetus, who reminded us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The way you carry yourself, grounded in emotional strength and personal integrity, shapes not only your own reality, but how others perceive and cherish you. The cornerstone of this transformation lies in focusing first on your own growth and happiness. A man who fills his life with meaning, passion, and purpose no longer chases validation or approval from others, especially not from the woman he desires to impress. Instead, he naturally attracts genuine connection because his life is rich and unapologetically his own. This shift from dependency to independence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess. The legendary philosopher Seneca wisely stated, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." This profound insight underlines that true wealth, emotional, mental, and spiritual, comes not from accumulating external things or the approval of others, but from inner abundance and self-mastery. When your life is complete and meaningful on your own terms, you cease to be needy, and this freedom resonates deeply, stirring something irresistible in the woman who values you. You must resist the temptation to settle for being an option or background noise in her life. Instead, strive to become the man whose absence feels like a void impossible to fill, and whose presence is treasured like a rare prize. This is not about arrogance or playing hard to get. It's about owning your worth with quiet confidence every day. This means setting high standards for yourself and your relationships, and never hesitating to walk away when those standards are compromised. When you hold your ground with respect and clarity, you communicate a message louder than words, that your value is non-negotiable, and this compels her to recognize and worry about the possibility of losing someone truly exceptional. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. Make sure your thoughts, actions, and demeanour are infused with strength, integrity, and self-respect. This mental colouring is what ultimately defines how you are perceived and how deeply you impact those around you. In practical terms, living by this Stoic approach means investing in yourself relentlessly, whether that's through improving your physical health, sharpening your mind, pursuing your passions, or cultivating emotional resilience. When your world is vibrant and full, you stop looking outward for happiness or approval and start attracting the right kind of attention effortlessly. It's about becoming a man who is not just physically present, but mentally and emotionally engaged. A man who radiates calm assurance rather than desperation. This presence is like a beacon, steady, strong, and captivating, and it naturally draws others in. A real-life example could be a man who dedicates time each day to his own goals and well-being, who listens more than he speaks, and who carries himself with a quiet confidence that says, "I am enough." Such a man doesn't seek to create jealousy or insecurity through games, but rather inspires genuine respect and concern because he is deeply rooted in his own value. Moreover, the Stoic mindset teaches us that we cannot control others' feelings or reactions, only our own behaviour and attitudes. This understanding frees you from the toxic cycle of trying to manipulate or control how a woman feels about you. Instead, you focus on being your best self, knowing that the right people will appreciate and want to keep you, not out of fear or obligation, but because they recognise your true worth. It's a powerful reminder that real influence comes from strength and authenticity, not from neediness or fear. This echoes the wisdom of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, "What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say." Your actions, rooted in self-mastery and purpose, will speak volumes and create an impact far beyond words. Finally, this journey to becoming a man worth worrying about is a continuous process of self-improvement and self-respect. It requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to embrace discomfort when necessary, whether that means setting boundaries that might upset others or walking away from relationships that no longer serve your highest good. But this is where true freedom lies, in choosing yourself above all else, and in doing so, inspiring others to value you as well. The choice ultimately rests with you. Will you continue blending into the background, accepting fleeting attention and uncertainty, or will you rise to stand out by mastering yourself fully? Remember, the power to transform your life and relationships is in your hands, and the legacy you leave will be shaped by the man you decide to become today. I encourage you to share your own thoughts and experiences below, so we can explore together what it truly means to embody this ancient wisdom in our modern lives, and how it can help you create connections that are both deep and enduring.